But let's get into the fall movie preview. Okay. So the fall movie preview is we're going to go through September 1st. Let's start with September. Let's see what happened there. Get back here. All right, it's back. Let's get into some of the stuff this is the list. Right now it's essentially this week because the first week kind of came out already. So what's coming out in September? Let's start. And what do we got? We got for the first week or second week, September 12th, Demon Slayer, which is a massive movie. It's a massive film. I know it's going to be huge, and I would have seen it a couple of weeks ago, but you guys essentially told me not to, not because it wasn't going to be good. Steph even told me not to. She's a major fan of Demon Slayer, but because I wouldn't know what the hell is going on. I wouldn't know what was going on. I wouldn't know what was happening. It was like people said it was like watching like all the Sopranos, and then they did a movie of the Sopranos, and then you would just watch the movie. You wouldn't know what was happening. So I didn't do that. But nonetheless, it's a big movie for the fall. So it's going to be the number one movie. I'm sure of it. And then followed, you got Downton Abbey, which is another grand finale. Both Demon Slayer and Downton Abbey are doing the same thing. Big movies there. And then you got The Long Walk, which I have seen already, which unfortunately, I think out of those three movies right there, it could potentially, I hope it's the number two out of those three, but it could be the number three. And you also got The Conjuring. So they're all going to be fighting for the top spot of the week. But those movies, it's a pretty solid September 12th, and followed by the re-release of Toy Story, which re-releases have been performing pretty well, and it's good for the kids to go and check something out too. If maybe it's younger generation that hasn't seen Toy Story, they can go see it. And then Spinal Tap 2. And there's a few movies that I definitely haven't seen, and Spinal Tap 1 is one of them. So I don't know if people are super excited about Spinal Tap 2. I'm interested to see why it is a theatrical release as opposed to a streaming release. And someone said Toy Story has a preview of the fifth movie attached to it. Well, that's also interesting, and probably can get people into the theater by doing that. So that's interesting. So I think right now, out of those movies, you let me know what you think is the most intriguing. What are you going to see? And are you going to see anything this weekend? Now, The Long Walk has gotten some pretty good reviews, including yours truly. Are you a Downton Abbey fan? Are you a Demon Slayer fan? Are you a Spinal Tap fan? Are you going to see any of those movies? Put your thoughts in there. I want to know. I'm interested. I know. Everybody says the same thing. That Spinal Tap is right up my alley, and I've never seen it. It was one of those movies that just kind of never found its way to me. You know. So that's that week. So that's this week, actually. So then, continuing on in September for next week, September 19th, we got A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. That's the Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie movie, and I'm going to see that soon. Actually, I'm going to be doing a double feature next Monday. So Roca and Dan Murrell actually are going to be doing the show next Monday together, because I'm going to be I'm seeing two movies next week, and Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey is one of those. I have to actually do a follow-up after I'm done with you guys here today on him, because that's the new Jordan Peele. Now, it's a Jordan Peele produced, I believe. I don't know why I can't open this up right now. Thank you very little. Why isn't that open? Come on, let's go. Open up. Not doing it. Not working. Unbelievable. It's not opening up, but at least it's there. So we'll go here. In whose name? I don't know what that is. The Senior, I'm assuming is that a religious based film? I'm not sure. And Waltzing with Brando. Oh, there we go. Finally, him. Okay. So who's in this one? Him. It doesn't say there. It doesn't even have cast on it. Does it have cast? No cast or anything. Not sure. Well, I don't know what they're doing right now. This website, it's pissing me off, to be completely honest with you. Because normally this website works fine. But because I'm doing no, I don't want Box Office Mojo. Out of here. Who needs that? I don't need that. Okay, let's go. It's taking forever, this site. This site stinks today. I don't know why it stinks. It's normally pretty damn good. Good today.
I've been getting a lot of comments lately. I've been taking care of myself, and people keep asking me, like, what's your secret? What have you been doing? And I said, yes, look, working out, doing some stuff, exercise, it helps tremendously, but it's really all about diet. It's about what you're putting in your body. And I'm telling you, man, Factor has been crucial to that journey. So Factor, you get so many different meals and so many different options, 65 weekly meals made for how I live, how I eat. I got so many more ways now to fit in a real meal whenever the day takes me. And it gets tricky for me, especially during the screenings and everything too. I need something, and I got it through Factor. So the way it works, you choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options. It can be seafood choices. I love seafood. I love salmon. I love shrimp. No extra cost. You can support your wellness goals. You savor your global flavors. For the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and some more. For more choices to better nutrition, that is why 97% of customers say the Factor helped them live a healthier life. Put me in that 97%. Feel the difference, no matter your routine. I've been checking it out. You should be checking it out. Go and use it. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Kristian50off and use that code Kristian50off. You get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That is the code Kristian50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's the deal. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer is only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Okay, so it says just produced, not directed, but it's under Monkey Paw. People are pretty excited for that. 8 questions so far. Thank you so much. Thank you very little. Why isn't this opening? This is really pissing me off, guys. This is the site that I use every time. I never have an issue with it. And then today, I decide, you know what? I'm going to use this site. I'm going to do it for the fall movie preview. And it says, F you, buddy. Not today. Perfect. So I'm going to have to find it. Let's see. Upcoming releases for movies. And I'll use it this way. And we'll see. So, and then, people were asking me, by the way, about asking me about the One Battle After Another. There it is, finally. So the rest of One Battle After Another, the out of the theater reaction. So that's going to be up after this show. I will be placing that. So you guys, for people who are wondering, because I put the Batman Begins reaction. And by the way, so I told people this yesterday. So Batman Begins, I found out when Sam was on the show. I said, Sam had told me that the only movie that she had seen in Christopher Nolan's library was The Dark Knight. So I said, okay, when we do that, I'm not going to put first time watching on there because it's not your first time watching. I am going to be putting first time watching on there because when you see the reaction, it's clearly the first time she's ever seen the movie. I think she's seen social media clips of it. She had no idea what was going on or what happened. So we'll see how that pans out. Anyway, so back to September, and let's get to the next one. This is, again, September 19th, Big Bold Beautiful Journey. Him, I would assume that's going to be the 2 movies fighting for it. I would assume Him is going to be the winner of that weekend. So we'll see. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to watch any trailers. I want to know nothing about it. That's one of those ones. Both that one and Big Bold Beautiful Journey, I'm just going to walk into it not knowing a damn thing. Waltzing with Brando, I might pull a Roca here, meaning that I'm just going to wait to hear if there's any positive buzz on maybe Zane's performance. Then maybe I'll check it out. I have seen the trailers for it. I think he looks just like Brando, like just like him. But the movie itself doesn't really seem that intriguing. But I hope it gets great reviews. And I'm like, well, I'm an idiot. I want to go see it. September 26th is Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie. I'll be taking my little one to see that one for sure. She's a Gabby's Dollhouse fan, so we'll be checking that out. The Strangers Chapter 2. I always thought there was another Strangers. Was it a prequel? Was it something else? Was Strangers Chapter 2? Is this kind of continuing on from the first one? That one I'm going to have to do a watch along with somebody who's never seen it before here. That's the first one leading into the second one. One Battle After Another I have seen already. This one is going to be, I guess I can say now, like my initial thoughts, because you guys are getting it first on this one, because I haven't even released my out of the theater reaction. I really enjoyed the movie a lot. It's a PTA experience, 100%. I don't know if it's going to be for everybody, but it was for me. It's got that PTA lunacy, and DiCaprio is great. The girl who plays his daughter is a stand-up. Benicio del Toro, when he's in the movie, like, crushes it. And there are certain directors, and PTA is one of them, that I wouldn't tell you who the director was, and if you sat down and you know film well enough, you say, oh, PTA directed this, and you can tell it's got that kind of just the way that he tells a story, and it's a long movie. I don't necessarily know if it is going to make the money it needs. There's like $120 million to make, so I don't know if it's going to make that kind of money and make it the money back at all. But I do think that it will. It was going to get some noms, and I think DiCaprio could get nominated for sure. I don't know if Benicio's in it enough to get a nom, but he's damn good in it. And Sean Penn. Sean Penn is great in the movie. And I forget Sean Penn. Sean Penn's great in the film. So it's a long movie, though. It feels long. It's a long movie. So if that's a concern of yours, and if you're not like a massive PTA fan also, you might feel it's a little long in the tooth. I liked being on that journey. I like being in this. It signified to me, oh, we're in this season now. And I like being in that season where you're getting out of the summer movie season, and it's like, oh yeah, this is where we are now. I like that feeling. I've always liked that feeling. It's not for everybody. There are people like, oh man, I just wanted to see a good performance. I wanted to see just kind of like a traditional movie, and that's not what PTA does. It doesn't do traditional stories. But anyway, that comes out that weekend. Out of the three of those, Gabby's Dollhouse. If I'm a betting person right now, in the way that horror movies are delivering, I'm picking The Strangers, Chapter 2, right around, it's got a month before Halloween. Gabby's Dollhouse, I don't know how big the audience is. Because as I always say, you hit with kids movies, you can crush, but I don't know how big that audience is, if it is just specific or what. One Battle After Another isn't winning the weekend. And if it does, I'd be very surprised. It's too long. It's a specific audience. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to win, but I think it's going to get nominated for stuff. So that's what we got in September. What about you guys? What do you think about September? Is there a movie in general that I mentioned that you want to see? Is there a movie in general that I missed? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Well, guys,
shopping for cars, it should be exciting, guys. It should be exciting, not exhausting, and that's what it feels like a lot of the times. But between misleading prices, hidden fees, it really does feel like a maze. Good news for everybody: Car Gurus. That's where they come in. They rank the best deals, they verify the dealers, and they make sure you never pay more than you should. Your big deal, it just became a great deal. That is why they are so incredible, and I think that everybody should know about them, and I'm telling you about them now so you do. Car Gurus is going to connect you with trusted dealerships when you're ready, ensuring a transparent, hassle-free buying process. Car Gurus gives you the control to shop how you want to shop, with the tools, the information, and data-driven deal ratings that you need. It's no wonder that SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows that Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. You got to buy or sell your next car today. Car Gurus at cargurus.com. You got to go to cargurus.com and make sure your big deal, that it's the best deal. Car Gurus, CARGURUS.com. Cargurus.com. Don't miss out on Car Gurus.
Continuing on the fall movie preview, we are going to move into October now. Traditionally, what happens is in summer, you get like 1 or 2 releases up top on August that hit. And then like the first week in September is kind of like, nothing too big. And then once, like I said, I mentioned that first week or second week in September is when they start rolling stuff out. You start to get a blend of the studio movies that like maybe they could have been summer movies, but they're going for that September release, and then you start to get the Oscar stuff. I got a plate of food right here. So we're gonna move on over, and we're gonna get to October, because October when it starts to get a little spicy. Now, Bone Lake. What's Bone Lake, guys? We're gonna get this opening up. Bone Lake. Oh, is this another horror one? Who's in this? Let's see. Maddie Hassan, Alex Rowe, Marco Pagosi, and Andra Nichita. I don't know any of this. It's a summary. A couple's romantic vacation at a secluded lakeside estate is upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple. A dream getaway spirals into a nightmarish maze of sex, lies, and manipulation. Sign me up. Bringing terrifying secrets to light and triggering a bloody battle for survival. Never heard of it. Don't know what it is. Maybe it's a surprise hit. Who knows? But October 3rd, Casper re-release. Good Boy. That's that horror dog movie. This is the one that's gonna get a lot of the love here. It's already getting a big buzz, and that's The Smashing Machine. Smashing Machine with The Rock. Oh, for God's sakes. The Smashing Machine with The Rock. It hits that weekend, and man, oh man, I'm getting more hyped for this one. I think it was already on my anticipated list. I'm really pumped for that film. And I said it to Roka yesterday, and I just feel from like the buzz. My two bets. Well, I'm gonna go 3 bets so far from buzz. You can always tell from buzz. I haven't seen the movies, but you always can tell from the kind of buzz. I feel like The Rock is gonna be nominated for Best Actor. I feel like Julia Roberts is gonna be nominated for After the Hunt, and I feel like Sydney Sweeney is gonna be nominated for Christie. I think from what we're hearing thus far. Leo's got a shot in the movie that I just talked about, One Battle After Another. But to me, I think right now, out of all that for October 3rd, I don't. Bleecker Street is Bone Lake. It's a smaller movie. Maybe it has a nice, smaller budget. Could hit some that horror crowd, maybe, or thriller crowd. I'm not sure. Good Boy. I've heard people buzzing around. I haven't seen the trailer about it. I don't really have an interest in it, but that's not to say it's not going to be good. But The Smashing Machine. I think The Smashing Machine is going to be the movie that people are talking about that weekend. I think that the audience is going to want to see the Rock in this. I think this is a very smart move for The Rock because it's still kind of his wheelhouse without being in his wheelhouse, meaning that obviously it's a UFC fighter. He can get in that kind of shape. He understands that kind of physical toll that with your body and other things. He's been around the fight game. He's a fight fan. So I think that aspect he very much so that it is in his wheelhouse. Where it's outside is the stuff he's been talking about. He hasn't minus like Snitch and Faster. I think he hasn't really dove into the drama roles. It's mostly been the big budget studio movies where he's played a version of himself in every movie that he's been in. So to see him actually play Mark Kerr and watching this based off the documentary, this is going to be the next wave for The Rock, and he's very good at pivoting. He always has been good at pivoting. I think that this is a later pivot than other things, but this is a pivot. So pivot. So we'll see what happens with The Rock here. October 10th, Kiss of the Spider Woman. This is really becoming a pain in the ass with this website because I can't even freaking access it. But Kiss of the Spider Woman comes out on October 10th. Roofman, which I just saw something that was something that just came in an email about that. Soul on Fire, which is Sony, and then Tron Ares. So that's where this is the mix of, like, I assume some Oscar stuff plus the big budget one with Tron Ares. I haven't seen a single trailer with Tron yet. I'm excited for it, but I haven't watched the trailer because I want to go in just kind of knowing nothing, seeing where they're going to take this franchise next. Let's see. Soul on Fire. Let's see if I can see what that is. Soul on Fire is a movie. Tragic accident leaves 9-year-old John O'Leary with burns covering 100% of his body. Soon embarks on a miraculous road to recover with support from his family, the community, and baseball announcer Jack Buck. Oh, that's interesting. Grateful for the gift of life, John becomes a motivational speaker who inspires millions of people to make the world a better place. That's a freaking inspiring story. Okay. So that's Sony. And then Roofman. Let's see what Roofman is, guys. Roofman is this is Channing Tatum. So it's Okay, so it's about Charlotte. Let's say after escaping from prison, former soldier and professional thief Jeffrey Manchester finds a hideout inside a Toys R Us, surviving undetected for months while planning his next move. However, when Jeffrey falls for a divorced mom, his double life starts to unravel, setting off compelling and suspenseful game of cat and mouse as his past closes in. Oh, Derek Cianfrance directs that. Okay, I like Derek Cianfrance a lot. Interesting. Okay, 2 hours and 6 minutes. Good runtime. You've got Channing Tatum. Doesn't really say where is it. Oh, Kirsten Dunst, Lakeith Stanfield, Peter Dinklage, Juno Temple. Okay, all right. That sounds promising. Roofman. That's on October 10th. Tron Ares, Kiss of the Spider Woman. Which let's see what that one is. Kiss of the Spider Woman, and that is Jennifer Lopez, musical thriller. Roku will be first online. Political prisoner named Valentine shares a cell with a man named Molina. They form an unlikely bond as Molina recounts a Hollywood musical plot. Diego Luna, Josefina Scallione. I don't know if that one's going to do well. And I'll tell you, I think, and I could be wrong, I think people are just tired of J-Lo. I'm not. I don't mind J-Lo. But every post you see, everything you see, it's like people are at her concert and people are tired of it. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's gonna care about that movie. So October 10th, out of those movies, Tron Ares is gonna be the box office winner, I would assume. But Roofman could be interesting. I like the premise of that. Roofman. That one, I didn't know anything about that. So that one to me, that's one that I'm digging. I'm digging that. Hey, get out of here. Okay, so that's October 10th. October 17th, Black Phone 2. It's funny because I wouldn't have cared about that one Black Phone when it came out. I was like, oh, what the hell is this? And I wound up loving that movie. So Black Phone 2 is October 17th. Good Fortune. Which one's Good Fortune, guys? Let's see. Good Fortune is which one is that? Is that Keanu Reeves? That's Keanu Reeves. Okay, so what's that? What's Good Fortune? Good Fortune is a well-meaning but inept angel named Gabriel meddles in the lives of struggling workers and a wealthy venture capitalist. It's got Keanu Reeves, Aziz Ansari. Oh, I guess this is the stuff. This must have debuted at TIFF. Seth Rogen, Sandra Oh, Keke Palmer. Good cast. So that's the Good Fortune. Interesting. That's Lionsgate. St. Elmo's Fire is re-releasing. After the Hunt comes in October 17th. So Black Phone 2, After the Hunt, and Good Fortune. So the big one that will hit that weekend as far as overall box office will be Black Phone 2. That's a sure Vegas bet right there. Then you got Good Fortune, which could be Good Fortune, and After the Hunt are the two that will be vying for Oscar stuff, I assume. I am telling you from, again, buzz-wise and from what I read of that script, I told Roka months and months ago, I think that you're going to see Julia Roberts get nominated for this role. And then after this came out, or at least was screened at the festivals, that's what people were saying. That some people feel that the movie itself was just okay. But others are saying, but most are saying that she has one of the best performances of her career. Now, the other thing that I found out, which was interesting, someone wrote this in the comments yesterday, that you got to take the Venice reviews of that movie with a grain of salt, because apparently they were in the rain or something, or they couldn't come in. The critics were left out in the rain or the cold. I can't remember what it was. Something along those lines and then they came in and the sound was off and it wasn't a great theater experience. That does change things. Now, does it mean that it means the movie's not good? The movie's good? No. I will be finding that out on Monday as well, because I'm going to see that on Monday. But that it was an interesting fact. I didn't know about that. 18 questions so far, guys. 18. Wonder if we can get to 83. Can we do it? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. Next one after that. We've got October 24th. Chainsaw Man, the movie. Res Arc. What's that? What's Chainsaw Man? Chainsaw Man, the movie.
I love talking to you guys about Nutrafol. They are the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand and is trusted by over 1.5 million people. You feel great about what you're putting into your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified. It's the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. I'm telling you, Nutrafol is no joke. You see the results. Roxy was talking about it not too long ago. She's been using it. She sees the results. You see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. You got to enter the promo code Kristian. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. That is spelled Nutrafol.com. Use the promo code Kristian. Nutrafol.com, promo code Kristian.
What is Chainsaw? That's got, okay, it's animated. Anime. Interesting. Okay. Chainsaw Man, the movie Res Arc, also simply known as Chainsaw Man, is an upcoming Japanese animated dark fantasy action film based on Tatsuki Fujimoto's manga series Chainsaw Man. It's a direct sequel to the first season of the anime television series. Okay. Are you guys familiar with that one? I don't know that one. I'm not sure. I would ask Winston, obviously. Oh, speaking of Winston, I said this today. I have never been so excited to release a video that's coming out soon. Winston and I watched The Last Dragon together. We were going to watch Jaws, but I said, no, let's watch Last Dragon. And we did. I feel like it's going to get 4,000 views. I want it to have 400,000. I loved watching this movie. I loved watching The Last Dragon again. It was so much fun to do. But I should ask Winston if you'd ever heard of that movie or that one that's coming out. Anyway. Okay. The next one after Chainsaw Man is Eli Roth presents Dream Eater. Know what that is? Regretting You. What is Regretting You? So let's see what Regretting is. A lot of these movies, it seems like Regretting You is who? Is this Sydney Sweeney? No. Who is this? McKenna Grace, Mason Thames, Allison Williams, Dave Franco, Willa Fitzgerald, Scott Eastwood. When a devastating accident reveals a shocking betrayal. Morgan Grant and her daughter, Clara. They explore what's left behind as they confront family secrets, redefine and rediscover love. This is directed by Josh Boone. This could be a romantic movie that maybe people want to see in the theaters now. This is a different structure, a different thing that usually could be in streaming these days, but I'm glad to see something like this is out. Now, the one I'm going to be seeing, and the one that I actually think could potentially win the weekend, even though it is a 20th Century Studios movie, is the Springsteen movie. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. That is one of my most anticipated, and I can't wait to see it. They didn't get like the kind of huge buzz that I thought it was going to get out of the festivals, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it could. I really am excited for that one. Pumped for it. And I can't wait to see it. It's a biopic, and it's got a possibility to get a lot of awards, depending on how it is. But I think it's going to win. I think it's going to win the weekend because it's Bruce Springsteen. Blue Moon also comes out, and this is a musical drama, and it is directed by Richard Linklater. What is it about? Lorenz Hart struggles with alcoholism, and mental health issues. He attempts to maintain his composure during the premiere of Oklahoma. So who's in Blue Moon? Who's in that? That's is it Ethan? Is it Ethan Hawke? Yeah, it is. Ethan Hawke, Mark Aquili, and Bobby Cannavale. Okay. Good cast. This is the season that I love. I love this season because a lot of these movies I've already read to you. I haven't heard of some of them. I'm sure a lot of them are screened and stuff too. I don't pay. Maybe I'm a bad friend. I don't know. I don't pay attention to a lot of people's coverage on these things. I sometimes I do, but not a lot of times because I'm just like, I want to discover it myself. It smells like piss. What do you say that for? What are you saying that for? You don't even know what it is. But okay. Let's see. So that's October 24th. So October 24th, Chainsaw Man, Eli Roth presents Dream Eater, Regretting You, Springsteen, and Blue Moon. Apparently, Anthony, she's not a fan of that one. And then you got Halloween, which is Begonia. People have been talking about that one. Begonia, is that the one people have been talking about? I think so, right? Begonia is, yes, that's the New Yorgos movie with Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. Okay, so that comes out wide on Halloween. So that's a big month. That's a big month. And I think so there's a lot of stuff there that people are going to be talking about as far as like award season, those movies, and you're going to pick a lot. Like one of those releases will be one of those movies, whether it's performances, directing, something will come out of that month, something out of the ones that I read. November and December starts to get more of a blend of both those types of movies plus the big budget, huge movies of the year, like the second summer season, if you will. But you get a mixture of those. So then we that's where we go. We're going to November, but before we do it, October. What did you think? What movies are you looking forward to? Which ones do you think are going to steal the spotlight? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know what you think. All right, now we move on over and let's get to November. It's time for November. Christy. Oh, wow. Christy opens up November 7th. And that's the Sydney Sweeney movie based on I keep saying Christy. Oh my God, why can't I? Christy Martin. What the hell's wrong with me? I can't remember anything anymore. Christy Martin. Good Lord. I had a friend named Christy Miller. I keep saying Christy Miller. Christy Martin never imagined life beyond her small town roots in West Virginia until she discovered an knack for knocking people out. Fueled by grit, raw determination, unshakable desire to win, she charges into a world of boxing under the guidance of her trainer and manager turned husband, Jim. But while Christy flaunts a fiery persona in the ring, her toughest battles unfold outside as she confronts family, identity, and a relationship that just might become life or death. Based on the remarkable true events, Christy is a story of resilience, courage, and the fight to reclaim one's life. And that's the one that I think that she's going to be getting nomination for. Nuremberg is the other one. Now this thing decides to work. Nuremberg is Remy Malek, Russell Crowe, Michael Shannon, Colin Hanks, Richard E. Grant. Wow, look at that cast. What the hell's that one about? What is that about? I keep hearing that one. Nuremberg. The Allies, led by the unyielding chief prosecutor Robert H. Jackson, have the task of ensuring the Nazi regime and answers for the unveiled horrors of the Holocaust, while a U.S. Army psychiatrist is locked in a dramatic psychological duel. Former Vice Marshal Hermann Goering. Okay. I mean, that sounds, like I said, that's the mixture of well, right there, those two movies, Nuremberg, Christie, those are the Oscar movies, and then there's Predator, Badlands. That could be a big one. I feel like people are getting excited for that one. Trachtenberger's following up his hit in Prey that didn't come out in the theaters. It was streaming. This is Ella Fanning. And this is to me the potential of the future of movies if done correctly. And what I mean by that is Predator Badlands has that IP, right? It's got that thing. That movie can't have that much of a budget. It really can't. Like, what's the budget on Predator Badlands? $40 million? $60 million? No, what is it? Let's see if we get a cast or budget rather. Predator Badlands budget. 100. Wow. I don't know about that then. Numbers of the projection budget of 100 million. It's still smaller, but 100 million for that one? That's risky. I would have brought it down a little bit more, but I haven't seen the trailers. I only saw that one trailer and I didn't love it. But we'll see. I still think that'll be the number one movie of the weekend. But we'll see. Sarah's Oil, which I don't know. This is another, I think, Oscar one. This is, I don't really get much of a, what is it? Doesn't tell us. November 7th. Just gives us that. Okay, who's in the cast and the crew? Zachary Levi, Nair Desir Johnson, Speaker Martin Green, who I like a lot. We'll see. I don't know anything about this one. But Sarah's Oil. Let's see if that does anything. Not sure. Okay. So next one after that is an untitled. Okay, Zerdy Studios film. I don't know what that is. So Predator Badlands going to win the weekend. Now the Oscar ones there are clearly Christie, which that is one of those ones where Christie and Nuremberg will be the Oscar ones. Predator Badlands will be the studio winner that weekend. Sydney Sweeney will continue to rise in stardom, especially with this one, because this is someone that you can tell is going to be around for a bit because of all the stuff, controversy or not, with the American Eagle stuff and all that. Her name was out there, her stock went up, regardless of what you if you liked or disliked the ad. It gone up. People are talking about her all the time. Now, the way you follow that up in this business is, what are you? Are you a celebrity or are you an actress? Or she's proving she's an actress if this delivers. If Christie delivers and she winds up getting herself nominated. I'd never seen Euphoria. All I really know what to base off, and it's not fair, is off of Madam Web. Not fair. So I'm looking forward to this one because for everybody who kind of touts her and her talent. And from the buzz that's coming out about this particular performance, this could be the thing that really puts her. People always forget about the controversies. Last for a little bit until the next controversy or there's something good that you do, and this is going to be something good that she does, and they're going to be talking about that. Disappearing people. I already talked about one battle. You got to rewind it, my man. Okay, so Christie. That's and Nuremberg. Those are the two Oscar ones, Predator Badlands. So then we get to November 14th. This really is a true blend of both of those movies, both of those types of movies. November 14th is Keeper. Now, Keeper will find. Now you're going to do this again? Come on, Keeper. Show a little class. Is this what is this? Summary. Nothing. Cast and crew. Tatiana Maslany. Where's she been? Joseph Sutherland. Oz Perkins. Director. Okay. Don't know anything about Keeper, but we shall see what Keeper's all about. Don't know. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's going to be a big one for Lionsgate. It's the third movie, and then you got The Running Man, the remake. So those are, I guess, Keeper. I don't know what that is. I think it's a smaller horror movie. It looks like there's not a lot of Oscar stuff that weekend. Could be wrong, but The Running Man, Edgar Wright, Glenn Powell, in a more, I guess, faithful adaptation of the Stephen King story outside of the classic Arnold movie. And then Now You See Me, Now You Don't. How many of the returning casts we got? We got Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson. You got everybody back. Eisenberg, Harrelson, Franco, Fisher, Smith, Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt. Okay. Rosamund Pike, Morgan Freeman. All right. So I'm curious in that one. I think there's been enough time. I'm like, how are they gonna do another one? I'm interested in it, but I actually think that Now You See Me, Now You Don't will win the weekend, unless The Running Man delivers on. If people start loving the Running Man, I could see it winning, and that'll actually prove to me. Just talking about Glenn Powell, talking about Sydney Sweeney rather. This will prove to me the Glenn Powell stardom of that, because I think Josh Brolin's in this one too. If Running Man winds up crushing that weekend, and maybe that could be a Glenn Powell statement if it turns out, because Twisters did pretty good too, I think, right? But that was also IP based. But I Now You See Me, Now You Don't versus Running Man is an interesting battle for that weekend. That's an interesting battle. I don't know who's going to win. I'm going to say that Now You See Me wins, but I wouldn't be shocked. Okay, let's see. Next one after that. And that is, we're getting towards the end of November here. And November 21st, you got Rental Family. Rental Family. What's Rental Family? Is that another kind of smaller Oscar movie? Rental Family. Oh, they see they lied to us, guys. Oh, no, they don't lie to us. It's like, hey, what's going on? Rental Family. Nothing on Rental Family. Rental Family. An American actor struggles to find purpose until he lands an unusual gig working for a Japanese rental family agency, playing stand-in roles for strangers as he immerses himself in his clients' worlds. He begins to form genuine bonds that blur the lines between performance and reality. Confronting the moral complexities of his work, he discovers purpose, belonging, and the quiet beauty of human connection. Brendan Fraser, Takehiro Hira, and Mare Yamamoto. Okay, look, I'm on board for a Brendan Fraser movie. I'm down. So I don't know what that is. Sisu Road to Revenge. I got to see the first one. People love this Sisu movie. Now, is that? Jorma Tamelia, Richard Blake, Stephen Lang. I've never seen Sisu, but people love it. People talk about it. Okay, so the movie that wins the weekend is clearly Wicked for Good. It's going to crush. So Wicked for Good is going to be one of the biggest movies of the year. So that's going to and that's one of the few that we've talked about so far that could be the crossover of both the big budget winner or the big box office winner, plus a lot of awards, depending on how it comes out and what people are saying. So Wicked for Good is kind of that first kind of crossover that we've talked about that could do both, I think. Wicked for Good wins that week. Wicked for Good could be one of the biggest box office of the year. So that's our first big contender of the fall season that could compete with some of the summer stuff and the other stuff that came out this year. Then we move on, and I think we follow up November 26th. Speaking of another contender, because Wicked doesn't have long to breathe as a potential winner for the year, because you got Zootopia 2. That's going to be massive, as I always say. You got a good family movie in there. You're going to get those kids in the theater. That's how you do it. And Zootopia 2 is going to do it. And all of those movies that have already done it this year got close to it. Family movies. Zootopia 2. And what kind of cast are we working with on Zootopia 2 here? You've got Jennifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman, Q Kwan. Oh, good. Gary the Snake. That's great. Fortune Feimster, Shakira, Sean Renault, Nate Torrance. Okay. Good cast. I'm excited for Zootopia 2. Just watched the first one again with my little one. You better stop it. You better stop it. Better stop this. So Zootopia 2 comes out, and then Eternity, which one's that? And an afterlife where souls have 1 week to decide where to spend eternity. Joan is faced with the impossible choice between the man she spent her life with and her first love, who died young and has waited decades for her to arrive. That's Miles Teller, Elizabeth Olsen, Callum Turner. Okay. Divine Joe. This is a good cast. Who's directing this? Who's directing this one? Do we say David Freen? Okay. I was going to say it sounds like a streaming movie, but maybe not. A24. And the thing with no. Okay, so that's the end of November. What do you guys think about November? I mean, who wins that month? Is it Zootopia or is it Wicked? Who wins? I'm so curious. Zootopia or Wicked? Who's winning that month? I could see it go either way. I really could see it go either way. I'm telling you, you don't doubt the kiddos. You get those kids into the theater, man, and you're gonna make yourself some money. And it's a shorter movie than Wicked, and it's not darker. Is Zootopia easy? I don't know about easy. First Wicked was kind of like it was kind of a phenomenon. And when I say phenomenon, I get it. It was based off of a play, but people just kept watching that thing over and over again. Did very well afterwards on purchase. I think part 2. I think it's going to be an event. So, man, but I'll agree with you that I think that Zootopia will win, but I feel like Wicked will be pretty close. So we shall see. Okay. We finish the fall season. With December. 100 Nights of Hero. I don't know what that is. Neglectful husband departs after pledging a secret wager to test her fidelity. Cherry and her sharp-witted maid Hero must fend off a dangerously seductive visitor. Manfred. What the hell is that? Nicholas Galzatine. Okay. Malcolm Monroe. Emma Corrin. Nicholas. That's He-Man, right? Yeah. Richard E. Grant. Felicity Jones. It's an interesting cast. Okay. That's one of those movies that you're like, oh, you see 100 Nights of Hero? That's like the one everyone's talking about. Possible. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. That is easily going to win the weekend. Merrily We Roll Along. That based off the play? Is it really? Is it that old Daniel Radcliffe? Wow, I didn't know they were making that. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's wins easily. Am I wrong? I mean, it wins easily. Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be the winner of that week, and then December 12th, you got Ella McKay. This is some other. This is the biggest blend of what the hell this could be. You know, as far as Oscars and box office. Doesn't really say what this is. It looks like Jamie Lee Curtis and Bridget. Who is that? Emma Mackey and Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay. Good. Oh, good supporting cast. Very good supporting cast. So that could be another one. Don't know anything about it. We'll wait to hear. Scarlet, another one. Haven't heard anything about. Story of brave princess who transcends time and space. Okay. This looks like an anime film. Yep. That sounds interesting to me. I like time and space stories. So that could be something. That's December 12th. Silent Night, Deadly Night. What is that? Is that the old school? Is that a re-release? Or is it a remake? Either way, no thanks. Hamnet. Oh, Hamnet is the one that people have been talking about too. Right? Paul Mescal. Yeah, it's another one. Some more Oscar stuff. That's more Oscar stuff leading up. And then December 19th, Avatar, Fire and Ash. Get out of the way. That's going to win the entire year. The Housemaid. Sydney Sweeney again. Another one. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. What's that one about? Does it say? To try to escape her past, Millie accepts a job as a live-in housemaid for the wealthy Nina and Andrew Winchester, but what begins as a dream job unravels into something far more dangerous, a sexy, seductive game. It sounds like this other one that we said before. Secret, scandal, and power. Behind the Winchester's closed door lies a world of shocking twists that will leave you guessing. Okay. Maybe it's one of those movies that surprises you. Don't know. But it ain't beating Avatar. Is this thing on? Oh, that's that one. That's my movie. It's the one they stole from me. I'm kidding. Bradley Cooper directs this one with Will Arnett about the guy who getting divorced and starts doing stand-up. I did it first. I'm just kidding. I'm going to wind up loving that movie, I'm sure. So it wins. Avatar. It wins the year. It wins the year. It's going to make $2 billion. It's a theater event that people love to see. So out of all that stuff, you got tons of stuff that's coming out. Tons of really good movies. I like the options. I like the options. I like the blend. I like the mix. I think there was one more that I maybe missed. Avatar, The Housemaid, is this thing on? SpongeBob movie. It still says an untitled Warner Brothers film. I don't know what that is. December 25th is Anaconda, Marty Supreme, and then what's Marty Supreme? Which one is that? Does it say? Marty Supreme stars whom? Timothy Chalamet. Oh, that's the one Timothy Chalamet movie. Right. I've heard about that. Gwyneth Paltrow, Fran Drescher, directed by Josh Safdie. Right. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of different. This always happens, right? Where tons of the movies that I just mentioned, I just maybe kind of said it as kind of like a passing by. Oh, it sounds interesting, and that's going to be the one that everybody's buzzing about. And that's the one that everyone's talking about once it starts, whether getting screened or it comes out closer and we start buzzing. So we shall see. Yeah, as I like our fall season. I think there's some really intriguing options on both studio movies and Oscar or award movies. And I also like the idea that the big movies are we don't have any comic book movies right now. I like that. Let some other people fight for the prize. I'm curious to see how it all pans out. And as I said, most people are just going to get the hell out of the way of Avatar.